All right, guys, nice win for the Utah Jazz over the Washington Wizards. This is the Utah Jazz post-game show on the Hoops Nerd channel. First, we'll talk about the Wizards a little bit. I'm sorry, Wizards fans. You guys, if you're watching this, if you're a diehard Wizards fan, you deserve all the praise in the world because this team has some talent on it. They've had talent before, and it's been so mismanaged by both the coaching staff and the front office. Ernie Grunfeld, I don't know how he has a job anymore. I mean, you guys have drafted nice players. Bradley Beal, John Wall, Otto Porter, and the team just continues to be mediocre and average. It never seems to get over the top. Tonight they play the Jazz, and it just never really looked like the Jazz ever had any sort of trouble with the Wizards. You know, Bradley Beal is one of the best players in the league, but because his coach just doesn't seem to understand how to, it's just so open and there's no real form or formation to anything. It's disappointing. Bradley Beal deserves to be on a better team. And I don't know if it's this coach. I don't know if it's the GM, but usually things from the top down, it trickles down in the NBA. If it's bad GM, it trickles down to bad team. Even with good players like the Wizards have. Like the Wizards' record right now is based purely on the talent of its players. And Bradley Beal, he's phenomenal. Tonight, did not have a great game against the Jazz. That was partly because of the Jazz defensive scheme. For the Jazz, you've got to be a little excited about that because a lot of the time, especially this season, it feels like the Jazz have just really relied on Rudy Gobert to just do everything. And tonight, Rudy Gobert was a monster. Winner of Western Conference Player of the Week, very deservedly so. But Rudy Gobert was dominant tonight. Donovan Mitchell, 19 points, I believe. My computer's causing me problems, so we're going without stats tonight, just by the eye test. But nice night for Donovan Mitchell, 19 points, who didn't have to be the focal point because the Jazz moved the ball around. Ricky Rubio tonight had a nice night, 11 assists. And he played pretty controlled. The turnovers you want to see go down, that's the thing with Ricky Rubio. Can he run the offense? Can he score at the rim? Can he keep the turnovers down? If he can do those things, it usually means the Jazz play pretty well. Interesting note for Utah is that Derek Favors leaves with right hamstring tightness. I wonder if it's just more precautionary than anything because the Jazz kind of had it handled. Interesting also that Jae Crowder played really well tonight. One of the biggest plus minuses on the team. Everything just flowed and Jae was hitting shots. So although he's like, I think 2 for 6 from 3, but when Jae is hitting shots and playing really well, the Jazz are really tough to guard. The other player I'm noticing, and he only played a little tonight, George Niang, getting shots and making buckets and just playing overall really well. He brings another element to Utah that could be really nice if he can find a way to stay on the floor. Some of that I don't think is his fault, but that's okay. Just a nice night for Utah. Joe Ingles is the glue guy. If you look at the plus minus, he had the biggest for the team. And I think part of what that is Joe Ingles kind of connects the starting unit and the secondary unit. He can play with both. And when both units play well, obviously Joe Ingles has a big plus minus like he did tonight. I think that's the thing with Joe Ingles is his play converts both sides. And that's how Quinn Snyder seems to use him, is that guy that kind of is able to initiate for both the starting and second unit. Tonight they both played really well, and so therefore Joe has the big plus minus. But Joe is the glue guy. His passing, shooting, tonight shot well, connects everything. And obviously the defense. Finally, I didn't have a post-game show before. Guys, the Dante news sucks. It really sucks. Who knows what's going to happen with that. But if I see Dante slander, it's going to be a block. It's going to be you're going to be shut down. I don't want to hear any more talk about Dante. He's not going to be playing for a long time. I do think that if there is a silver lining out of this, and there's very few, it gives the starting guards for the Jazz, Ricky Rubio and Raul Neto, kind of locks that in so that the team kind of just knows what their rotation is. It was seeming to be kind of an issue for Utah as they are kind of dealing with a point guard competition to end the season, and I think that affected all of them. Although Raul Neto out of all three seemed to play really well. Rubio looks a little more comfortable. And that probably is because he doesn't have someone nipping at his heels trying to take his spot. But anyways, guys, it sucks that happened. We don't need to be jerks about it. Okay. Guys, like and subscribe this video. Things are going to be happening with this channel more and more. I've got some things I've got coming down the road that are pretty cool. Like and subscribe. I will talk to you later.